This video is going to show you some base 4 example problems and then relate it to what does base 4 have to do with base 10 and is there a connection? So let's go ahead and jump right in and start with this problem. I have this amount of dots here and I want to write the number in base 4. Now the first thing you need to think about is you need to think about what the groups are in base 4. In other words, in base 10 we have single units, right? Okay. And then we have a rod, and a rod is made up of 10 units. In base 4, we don't have a rod made up of 10 anymore. We have a rod made up of 4. So we still have units, and we still have rods, but this time our rods only have 4 in them. And if you're a little bit confused, like how am I getting there, I want you to think about your actual place value chart, but in base 4. Here's where it gets a little crazy, right? So in base 4, I still have 4 to the 0 power, 4 to the first power, 4 to the second power, and 4 to the third power. So when I'm thinking about my digits down here, I can literally be thinking about that this represents 4 to the 0 power is 1. This represents 4 to the first power, which is 4, so groups of 4s. And this represents 4 squared, so groups of 16. And then 4 cubed represent, ready for this, groups of 64. Okay, so this represents our 1's place still. This represents our 4's place, not our 10's place, right? So our 4's place. And then we would have, instead of in base 10, I might have a flat, right? And the flat would have 10 rods. I'm not going to draw them all, but you get the picture here, okay? So it's going to have 10 of these. In base 4, it doesn't have 10 anymore. It has 4 groups of 4, which would be 16. So a flat in this case literally looks like this. Hence why we say groups of 16. Okay, so now let's go back to our dots. We need to first see, can we count by ones? We could. Can we count by groups of 4? Well, let's see. I've got 4 here, 4 here, and 4 here. So I have 3 groups of 4. I'm going to write a 3 there. I have 0 ones once I've grouped by 4s. So this number is going to be written 30 base 4. Let's try another one. So now I have this amount of dots. So let's take a look again. Again, I can group by 1s, but I'm going to see that I'm going to be able to at least make groups of 4. I even noticed that maybe I can make a group of 16. So let me start by 4s first. So I've got 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay, so I can make a group of 16. Then I've got another 4 here and 2 1s. So again, let me write that down. I have one group of 16, so I'm going to put a 1 there. I have one group of 4, I'm going to put a 1 there, and then I have 2 1s. Again, this number would be 112 base 4. Now, how about the questions that ask you to give the number that comes before 10 base 4? The easiest way to do this, in my opinion, is to draw out your dots. So I'm going to go ahead and, first of all, I need to think about how many groups of what is this? So I'm going to go ahead and put it over here on my little base 4 place value, and I see that I have 0 1s and 1 group of 4. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 4 dots. Now, if I go ahead and take 1 away, I can see that I only have 3 units. Again, I can put a 3 underneath my 1s here, and I know that this is 3 base 4. Let's try another one. Let's think about what's the number that comes before 112 base 4. So we just kind of looked at these dots. Let's go ahead and take it apart. If I go ahead and again, I'm going to think of this as one group of 16, one group of 4, and 2 1s. I'm going to go ahead and draw that. Now I have one group of 16, one group of 4, 2 1s. If I get rid of 1, now let's see what I can group. I can still group my group of 16. I can still group my group of 4. So I'm actually going to have one group of 16, one group of 4, and 1 1. So 111 base 4. What if I wanted to think of the number that comes after this? Let's plug it into our place value chart. So again, I have 3 ones, 2 groups of 4. I'm going to draw that. So I have 2 groups of 4. Okay, so now you can see I have 2 groups of 4, 3 ones. If I add one more on, I've added that one on. Now let me circle my groups of 4. I have 1, 2, 3. Now I have 3 groups of 4 and 0 ones. So I have 3 groups of 4 and 0 ones. This number, the number that comes after this, would be 30 base 4. That would be the number that comes next. So I hope you have a better understanding now of other base math. Stick with it, persevere. This is not something really easy to think about. Know that because this is not natural for you, we don't operate in base 3. We don't operate in base 4. We operate in base 10 world. So just know that your students are going to struggle with base 10 just like you're struggling with base 3 or base 4. Have a great rest of your day.